まれるんです。
知っています。エリナリーゼさんから聞きましたから。
なぜ？
私はルディが弱っているところにつけ込んだだけです。
Man, I just killed a bunch of baby spiders right now, and like big spiders that were hiding in my little Lego houses. I keep little Lego dioramas by my window. There was a bunch of them hiding in there. They literally had no right to be there. They just like kind of made their home in there. It was kind of gross. It was really nasty. It's almost as weird as like Roxy going into Rudeus' home and essentially taking advantage of him without his consent and being like, you know what, you may be sad, but hold up, I'm gonna make my move right now. That's just like Roxy doing that. That's what those spiders did to my Lego houses. Had to clean them. And that being said, Roxy, my girl, you really had no right to do my boy Rudeus like that. Like, we get it. Rudeus is an interesting fellow because there's a lot of things that he does. People will agree with him, people may not agree with him, but you gotta think about it like this. My boy has a wife. He has a wife and a kid on the way, and you just like, his father just died. He essentially just lost his mother, and you're like, you know what? I'm gonna make my move. Hold up. It's just, I don't know whether to be happy for Rudeus or whether to be like sad for him, because even in the beginning of the episode, there's like a little flashback towards his previous life where he was a bum, where he kind of regrets not going to his parents' funeral and saying, damn, I really could have done better. He starts to contemplate, what could I have actually done? What bad thing could I have done? What could I have done to make things a lot better? And like, he's slowly regretting it. That's when Roxy comes in the room trying to cheer him up, but like her trying to get really like special with him doesn't really work on this depressed Rudeus, because you got to think about how he feels at this very point in time. He's sitting there. He just lost his father, he just lost his mother. Essentially, he has no one left. He keeps thinking to himself, why couldn't you die saving my sister? Someone who actually cared about you, someone who meant something to you. Unlike me, Rudeus, you saved me for me, even though I didn't really see you as my father. I just saw you as a stranger from a different life, from point in time I didn't really care about you a whole lot. Why is it now that I'm just now starting to care about you? And what's interesting about Rudeus and Roxy's reaction or interaction before, you know, they got little together, before they pulled Sister Sage and the Deep, you'll get that reference if you watch The Boys season 3. But besides them just kind of hooking up and doing that, and the light novel, something that was taken out from like the anime, is the fact that Rudeus actually tells Roxy a hypothetical story. It doesn't matter whether she believes him or not. He tells her, I'll put it on the screen here if you guys want to read it. He tells her that in a different life, hypothetically, in a different life, there was a man who did things so wrong. He screwed over his family. He did things very bad for like decades. His family avoided him to the point where he was pretty much exiled from that family. He was seen as an outcast, and Roxy's reaction to that is, that's pretty interesting. Although, had I known this person, had I been in the person's position, I would have reflected and done things kind of differently. Yeah, sure, I would have been a bad person. I may have made mistakes, but at the same time, don't let those mistakes guide you. Do not let those mistakes guide the trajectory of your life. Just kind of move on, try to adapt, and try to be a better person from that. That's essentially what was cut off from that conversation from the anime, adapted from the light novel. I really wish they kept this scene intact, because it really would have gave us more of an insight into how Rudeus is feeling, how some of his old life is kind of affecting his motives in this new life. Because you gotta think about like this, bro's been reincarnated, he's been haunted by his past life, and the stuff that he did in his past life sometimes will either help him or like decrease his chances of survival in this like new world that he's currently in. And the fact that like Roxy took advantage of Rudeus at a point in time where he felt completely down, I can't really agree with that. Me personally, I do not agree with that. So the fact that Roxy was just waiting for the perfect moment to step in, it's just genuinely wrong. I don't know how you guys feel, but if it was the other way around, then a lot of people would be kind of angry. But for me, don't say how justified. Like, yeah, it's cool. You're trying to comfort Rudeus and all, but like at the same time, bro, you're sleeping with someone who's kind of depressed, and then you have the audacity. Oh yeah, you should make me your wife. It takes time for someone to heal like that. Obviously, that's like the beginning of the episode, and as the episode continues to go on, we see Rudeus and Roxy interacting with Rudeus, essentially telling Roxy, "Look, I got a wife. I can't really be with you." It's only until his conversation with I forgot what's her face that he straight up tells her, Roxy wants to be your wife. Just go out with Roxy. Like, come on, like it won't hurt to have more than one wife. And Rudeus considers this and says, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna make Roxy my second wife. And that's when we get these two reunited, when we officially get these two as a couple, which honestly I gotta say, I don't know how I feel about this because it just feels really wrong. Like, yeah,